Folks, we're going to continue working on Spelljammer artwork today. Give me a second to go through, to check my signal, go through my spiel, and then we'll get to work for 100 plus minutes. So, signal equals 100 plus minutes. Signal? Yeah, sounds good to me. All right, cool. Hey, I just posted I'm live on Twitter. If you want to find out when I'm live in the future, you can follow me on Twitter, also at Phil Kearney. I'm going to go through my intro spiel here real quick, and then we'll get to work. So my name is Phil Kearney. I create role-playing game supplements. I publish them online. You're looking at the book cover to the most recent endeavor that we've been pursuing, which is Spelljammers, Combat and Exploration. Wizard of the Coast produced Spelljammers Adventures in Space in August last year, and I'm a very, very old-school fan of Spelljammer back in the 90s. So I wanted to re-inject some fast-paced combat and some far more in-depth exploration mechanics into the vastness of wild space and the astral sea. So that's we've been building this online for the past year. Right now, this is the book cover that we created back in around episode 15, I want to say. So let's see. There's a slew of work that I've already produced down in the description down below. You can check out the type of art and stuff that I build. If you like the stream, be welcome to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon to help support the growth of the channel. It is really appreciated. So, book cover, pretty cool. This is some interior art that we've been working on. This is a continuation from yesterday. We are in the spells casting section of the supplements. We're looking at spell amplifiers, creating increased effects for spell casting. Like animate object is what we're working on right now, and get the reference out of the way. Here is awaken. You can pause your screen if you want to read the mechanics here of animate object real quick, or you can listen to me ramble through it yesterday's stream, episode 171. Awaken is more you create as the ship or siege weapons that you awaken become self-commanding. They have free will. They can act on their own if you wish. The animate object has the same movements and capabilities of an awakened ship, but it doesn't have any free will. Plus, animate object is a temporary effect, while awaken is permanized. So, let me stick my finger in my ear, take a drink of water. Grab a reference again. So these are tokens that we created. Fighter craft for the Spiderling and a galleon vessel, which we are in the process of converting into a three-dimensional image here using our basic drafting skills. I'm very, very happy with how our Spiderling is coming along. The way that animate object is described is that you gain a ram if you don't have one currently. So we've added a slashing ram to the front of our Spiderling, which makes it look decidedly like a rhino beetle. So that is, I am lovingly calling this guy Rhino. I'm going to drop some color in on here right now because that's what feels cool. So we're going to do that. We'll go line art. More so. I'm gonna clean this up real quick. Get this crap under control so it looks good. Clean up inside here. Touch. That's the wrong touch. You've got the touch. You've got the power. Very good. There we go. Chip, chop, chiree, chiroo, chirom. Just change the angle on that a little bit since it's coming out along the flank here a little bit more. Like yonder. What do you got going on over here? All right, looking good. Come on, straight shot. Thank you. Nice. Pardon. Line art secure for now. Let's start dropping in some color into this guy. We'll grab our base here. Base! How low can you go? Like that. Good. Good, 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 good. Excuse me. Still shaking off just the last bits of that cold from last week. Lingering bastard. Base. Like that. And we'll go like this out here. Drop it in like that. Yeah, it's too dark. Nah, doesn't matter right now. Right now, it does not matter. Once I'm just going to do some simple blocking right now. This is just comic book blocking where you got the line art and you're just dropping a color layer underneath it. We'll fuse it together later on. But for now, I'm blocking it in so that I can have a more clear look at the deck of the ship of the vessel that the spidercraft has landed on, so that I can keep the two forms separated from each other while I continue doing detail work on the galleon deck, so I can see how the details of that are actually going to stick out. Wait. Just like that. Very basic, because you're basic. I'm gonna go here and put a mask over this. Yeah, basic. Finished watching The Good Place again. I think it's the 3rd run. That's a great show. If you have not seen The Good Place, it is so worth your time. I could have that landing gear poking through the lower deck, but I think I'm just going to leave it up like that. Give it a little bit of sense of perspective. Yeah, no complaint here. Let's add a little more color just real quick. Kick-ass little beetle. Once we finish the the architecture of the vessel, we'll be able to start having crew interacting with each other in this battle scene. But yeah, this is the fighter craft just up and land on other ships and start shredding them. It's actually necessary. These smaller craft generally don't have the same speed that vessels do. I mean, they can. There's major and minor helms. Minor helms have a much lower maximum speed, but they're more like carrier vessels or like, this is off in its perspective, so I need to fix that. But yeah, the intention is for them to just flat out land on other ships. There. Let's get that centered up. I feel pretty good. So this is obviously these are very large craft. There's some of the craft are only 15 feet long, so like they'd fit like in a space like this. Or more importantly, on the underbelly of the vessel, you could have a slew of these of like small craft like hanging out underneath the belly of the ship here, if you wanted to. Like goblin blades are only 15 feet, and they're basically the shape of arrowheads. Skiffs are basically just like rectangles like that, very very basic forms, and only 20 feet in size, as opposed to the goblin blades that are only 15 feet in size. But these things are a good 40 feet. So you got a 20 foot, a 10 by 10 ballista sitting on the prow here, and overall the size, including the spiderling leg piercing rams. Excuse me, throat. Blah. Coffee time. Let's cleanse the palate and mind with caffeine. Oh, that's a coffee bean, all right. Yeah, from butt to spear tip, that's 40 feet there. So it is a very very large craft, built for combat. It's small enough that it can maneuver in and land on larger vessels and start distributing troops or you know, suffering across the deck. But it's small enough that it can use a smaller a minor helm. Minor helms are very inexpensive, like 500 gold to get a fighter craft up and flying, as opposed to a vessel requires a 5,000 gold helm, and that doesn't sound like a lot, but it is. That's expensive. Like, you really got to have money in a fantasy world to be able to afford these things in the first place. So once he has them, where's this coming from? Man. They need to be inexpensive because they get shot down pretty easily. Fightercraft are pretty high level of endeavors. Like, if your characters are flying around on fightercraft, they're going to have a lot of hit points because they're going to have to take a lot of hit points for their craft, because one of these small little ships can't take, like, a trebuchet shot can like knock one of these things out of the sky pretty easily if there's no pilot to provide a force, a life force screen to absorb some of that damage for the vessel itself. But we'll get into that. We'll take a look at how that stuff works in time. No, that's not what we're doing right now. We are currently working on the architecture of the ship. So, doors, stairs, we've already got railing started. So I think the most significant thing that we have to worry about right now are weapons and foredeck stuff. So let's see if we can build out the rest of our ship. Perfect. God's grace, we'll be able to get this done within a reasonable time frame. I mean, it's already moving pretty quickly. It's just takes the most difficult part here is making sure that the architecture is good. If the bones are good, the house will be good. That's all we have to really worry about. Gilgamesh. Very good, very good, very good. Very, 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 very good. All right. So that does actually sit pretty nice. Door's good. Let's build some stairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool. Wait. There's stairs going down. There's stairs going up. Up. I'm gonna up. Merge down, and then we can take the same thing here, copy paste. Oh, this is working out very nicely. Merge those down. paste, and then that feels right. Subtle flaw. So we can see that we're slightly off in our angle here, so we can straighten that up. Should be about like that. We can bump it down just a touch. Good. The sails are made of light, like force energy. So there will be a quote unquote string going from this node to this node, and then curve from this node to this node, and then curve from this node to this node, but it will remain translucent, slightly opaque, just to denote its presence, but it doesn't obscure the view of anything on the deck. That's like here, so you can have that sailor aesthetic without having it completely disrupt people's views or even block a shot, because it's just a sail. It's a light sail, so it doesn't actually interrupt the it doesn't disrupt view, and it doesn't disrupt a shot. All you gotta do is just make sure you don't hit the poles. So that's I like that. I'm rather pleased with that aesthetic. Okay, cool. So let's stop gawking and get back to work. What the hell is this at? What? Oh, I'm in the wrong. I am completely in the wrong area. This is where I need to be. Holy vey. Holy vey. Get that out. Okay, that works. Blip. Let's see. That goes there. That goes there. Architecture tricky. Skew. Have it line up here. Copy paste. 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 Skew. So I want to have this line line up with this line here, so that sits. I want this line to line up with that, and that sits. And this can reference that, and this needs to reference this. But it also needs to reference this. See, this is at a slightly different angle than this is, but it's the same angle as this. So what I want to do is thread that needle and get in between like that. And both of those feel off, so good. We're making progress. Let's go with some more skew. That feels legit. All right, let's go like the bump, 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 bump. Boogada, doogada, 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 doogada. Go to here. this I want to have line up with that. I also want to have it. Yep, it's off. It is off. Cool. So we can free transform, skew. This is a lot of what the project is right here, right now. Just making sure things line up. It's pretty. God's willing, I don't have to do a lot of these. Architecture's fun. You can architect with me. I don't know where that's coming from. Boot, doo, doo. No. That'll work. Copy, paste. Askew. Duplicate that layer. Be-doo-doo. Oh, this is getting messy quick. Neat though, because we can drop the roof even more. Oh god, that's fucking perfect. Thank you. There we go. So far, so good. Yeah, I see the lawsuits already have fallen off on the sides here, so we'll have to. Chinny chin chin. We can merge those down. We can merge those down. You can merge those down. Stairs down. Where are you at? There you are. Not perfect. There are flaws. But sometimes I don't give a shit. Let's see. So that sits like that. Now I can put in maybe some railing. Nah, we'll worry about all the little fitsy bits when we merge everything down. Fits bits. That feels about right. I'm gonna skew this one over. Skew. Like that. Perfect. Chinny chin chin. Itchy, itchy. Chinny chin chin. There we go. So yeah, we want to have a. Oh my god, that will not do. You can't have. See, this is lining up here and here. That's a tangent where they line up perfectly. Like here, I want these to line up here because that's just good geometry. But here, that's bad narrative. So I need to reduce the railing. Like I need to pull that railing into to the second step. Nar. Better. Oh my god, that little nib is just pissing me off. Get out of here, little nib. No one likes you. Now we can. Excellent. Transform. I do want to skew this a touch. Like that. Now I can take this, copy paste. Skew just a touch. See, pretty well lined up. Now we can do the same. Also, for transform, skew. This is why we get paid the big bucks, folks. No, don't need to do that. I can just drop that to the floor. Pretty much like that. And we can maybe paste. Meow. Meow. No. Yes. Yes. Make sure our P's are queued. Wow. You know what I didn't do is I didn't set a timer. Bam, 20 minutes on the block. We still have about an hour-ish to keep at it. So we're making progress here. Let's burp. Let's call this railing. We'll call this back mast. We'll call this mid mast. We'll call this foremast. There you go. Next thing on the block are stairs. So we're gonna free transform and skew. Second, first, same as the first. Let's keep building this crap out. Just a little bit of a buffer. That feels about right. that. And about like that. Whew, those are some steep stairs, yo. Don't be drunk. Stumble face your way down to the space. Is that how we do? Is that how we do? Yeah, pretty much. Okay. Steep it is. Steep as a steep does. Oof, that's a lot of step. It's gonna be here instead. One, two, three, 4, 5. Dim stair. They're slightly off, so I gotta fix. Not that it really matters because this mast is in the way of these stairs, but I got to do them correctly in case we have adjustments. If I half-ass the stairs here, then how can you trust me to do anything right anywhere else? This needs to fix. That. So that means that this needs to fix too. Sufficient. Woof. Yeah, there's a bend in my perspective. There's a slight warp happening here. There we go. That pretty much fixed it. There we go. Good. Fill this one out. Like that. Good enough. Still hating on that stair. Much better. Better. Something like that. Let's add another line here. Good. Ho ho. Yo. Oof, man, that's a dog ugly stare. There we go. Better. Not perfect, but better. There. Better. Not perfect, but better. It'll do. It should do, anyway. Beep, beep. Duplicate the layers. Think fast, don't dump. Let's see if we can get these lined up. Not play well likely. This shall be my wreckest of trains. Yep. Good, that lines up. Means we can get rid of this and this. Good. Now we can go back to here. Left, up, and this will be right up. We can fake thickness on those boards. This is with a color change when we go in and do the coloring. That should help keep it straight. Transform equals skew down a touch. Perfect. Good. Merge those stairs down here equals step number 3. Does not need to be perfect. It does need to not be wrong. Oh my God, I tell you, man, I've been working out in the mornings. I've been working out after my day job at 5 o'clock, you know, weight training and cardio, and I am just absolutely starving in the mornings now. So I'm going to have to figure out. I'm still trying to figure that out. We'll figure it out. It's a great problem to have. That's too thick. I can come back and fuck around with these stairs later. I'm going to have to because I'm not happy with them. Not happy, Bob. Not happy. One step, 2 step, 3 step, 4 step. Oof, woof. Yeah, not perfect. We're gonna have to redo these. We'll figure it out. I don't want to slow down though right now. It just feels like something I don't want to get myself caught up in. I do need to resolve the railing because it's only one line currently. It needs to be a 3-dimensional object. So, alas, earwax. Let's hammer out these details here as well. Actually, full curve here actually does make sense. Copy, paste. Yeah, not horrible. Paste. Hit the skew button. Like that. That's good. This nose in just a touch. Free transform, skew. Yeah, about like that. Not perfect, but good enough. There we go. That's the pepper. Okay, that stands. That is okay. Technically, that's accurate. Okay. Let's grab this and then put that here. Copy, paste. Also technically accurate. I hear you. Thank you. Here. Copy, paste. Curved railing there. That all panned out. Cool. All right. Hey, railing. That was easy. That was easy. So we don't really have to worry too much about stairs over here. I mean, we do have to worry about them, so. There, and we got it goes like that. Drafty in perspective, boys. not perfect, but it works well enough. Yeah, we'll get rid of that. Don't have to have that there. Cool. All right, so that's we'll go with front stairs. Where are we at? 710. Call this frame. Base. Turrets. Obviously, a lot of this is going to be concealed by this back mast, but just want to make sure we do it right in case there needs to be corrections. Building a kitten pult. And since cats always land on their feet, they really are the perfect ammunition for these siege weapons. So you can launch a slew of cats onto your enemy ship deck. And then they just start tearing up everybody. Just claw to death anybody that gets in their way. Trained killer marine cats. Do not mess with this. See? Adjustment. let's keep things in perspective real quick, because this is probably at best the zoom that you're going to be looking at. You can obviously zoom in a lot closer, but gotta keep the idea of like how far into this thing are we going to actually get. I'm diving into a deeper level of detail than it's necessary, but it's going to work okay once we get to this scale here. So I'm going to take a few minutes here to a little walled off area here. Make sure that catapult doesn't just go rolling. All these stones just don't go rolling off and then fall down here and then fall down underneath that, because that would be hilarious. Cannot allow that. We have a lot of, oh boy, we have a lot of this to do. I don't think I'm going to bother with that on screen right now. 720? Yeah. Get rid of that for now. Base frame. Catapults. Let's see. Ballista. My gut feels like it's just about burned out on this piece for now. Essentially correct. Perfect. Skew it a touch. And then here, copy paste, and then skew this a bit so it widens out. That. Obviously, we're not going to have that poking out like that. That's a bit too intrusive. All right, well, that's where we're at for now. So we're making some progress here. What I need to do is finish the ballistas. I don't know what that. I don't know what this front sail thing is. It was the prow, I guess, is what that is. You can do like that. Something like that-ish. And then we'll do we need to do the railing, floorboards, light sails, ballistas, and then crew and characters interacting. So, and obviously they'll be very, very small because that's 10 feet. So like a little, like that is the height of a person like that. Not very big at all. Muse is telling me to let this piece sit for now. So I follow the Muse, do what she says. Other than that, I've got I've got 1 piece, 2 piece, 3 pieces to finish. So maybe we'll work on this one for a bit. I glunk. But yeah, we just spent a shitload of time building a galleon from one perspective. Let's build another one from another perspective. This one's much smaller, so hopefully it won't be such a pain in the ass. This is a fairy fire. If a ship is within the area of effect, the current pilot must succeed a saving throw over the ship, and all aboard are affected by this spell. 1 slot amplification, its range increases to 600 feet. 2 slots, 6,000 feet. So you get a hella range on these, but it's only fairy fire. Basically, it's just going to give you advantage to hit the ship, which is actually really good. That's actually really, really, like, these really low-level spells are super freaking useful against craft, against ships in combat. I think that's what I'm really the most happy about. Like Blade Ward is normally just a horrible spell to use in combat, but if you have your caster in a support role, they can be casting Blade Ward not as the pilot, but just as a support character. The Blade Ward will affect the ship, not themselves, if it's amplified. It's expensive to do it, but it also gives you resistance to it gives the ship resistance to all bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. So if you're just a side character and you just have action economy to burn, that Blade Ward is freaking fantastic to use. It helps. It literally cuts all the damage from these siege weapons in half. That's why putting a barbarian in the pilot's chair is really useful. Since we got rid of the restriction that requires you to be a spellcaster to pilot a ship, that opens up all the options to all the characters. Like a Scrow Scorpion with a barbarian as its pilot, commanding the claws and raging while in combat with the ships, and then you as the barbarian decide to tank damage for the vessel itself, and that means that you've got the resistance. So you got your piercing, all your normal barbarian resistances then apply to the ship while you are piloting. You take the damage, you take half the damage, and like Warding Bond, that cleric spell. It's some people overlook it, but again, and with ship combat, that is a super useful spell for a support character to not only lay down Blade Ward, but then to also do Warding Bond. So that half the damage is coming in on the pilot of the ship, and then you're sharing the damage from there further. So the pilot is effectively only taking a quarter damage if the support character is maintaining the Warding Bond and the Blade Ward. So if you got 80 damage coming in from a volley of siege weapons, and your ship only has, say, 200 hit points, that's a hell of a hit, unless you have your pilot then soak all of that damage, which is then reduced to only 20 points of damage. That's something that can be easily, that can be resolved. So, like, depending on the level of your character. Or maybe you only take 10 of the damage, and you let the other 40 go to the ship, and the ship has damage resistance, not threshold, resistance. So it's automatically reducing some of the damage that it's going to take as well. Like a light craft, like a galleon like this, has damage resistance of 10. So you reduce that damage from 40 down to 10 for your pilot, and that leaves 40 damage left over, which your ship then can eat 10 of. So it's actually only 30 damage in total. That out of 80, the ship is only taking 30 and the pilot is only taking 10. So you can take a number of hits like that. 10 hit points is a single cure light wound spell. That's a first level heal spell. So like if the pilot wanted to take, like, say 20 damage, if you're like 5th or 6th level, you want to take 20 damage instead, that would literally reduce the damage your ship takes to 0. So I mean, at some point your pilot can't take any more damage, and your team has expended all of their healing resources. At that point, that's when your ship is actually going to start taking damage, but it's exhausting your team's resources. You have hung around with me for a while as a DM, then you know my general philosophy is, if you're exhausting your team's resources, then you're doing a great job. Because that means that they are recognizing that either the threats or the challenges that they're facing are significant enough that they want to invest their resources in succeeding the task, or mitigating the damage and risk from the task. And that's what adventuring is about making them use their resources to succeed at their tasks while not dying. So that is successful adventuring. The Twilight Cleric has a place here. It's normally such an OP, it's considered such an OP thing because of the temporary hit points that it provides. But those temporary hit points get eaten up by siege damage so quickly. Like if you're looking at like taking 30 points of damage for your ship, then that say 15 points of temporary hit points that your cleric as a support character can provide to the pilot each round reduces that damage from 30 down to 15. And then if you have Warding Bond on top of it, you may only take 8 damage and then the pilot only takes 7 damage. Again, further whittling it down using your spell resources to protect your crew from the damage that they're using to protect the ship from being destroyed. And the ship is considered self for anyone that's attuned to an orrery or the pilot helm. So everyone that has spellcasting capabilities that's focusing on tools of the ship all work together as though the ship is all of their self. So all these self-buffing effects and target-only self or touch spells, they can all be stacked and layered on top of each other to affect the ship, while everyone aboard the ship that's on the ship is doing their part to maintain that concentration or to take those hits for the team. So it becomes a really cool. It's like a group task, but it's combat. So it's cool. It's really, really cool. It's the depth of integration of the 5e mechanics into the shipbuilding rules that really make, like if I were to build this outside of D&D, I would need to make a bunch of like powers or maneuvers that would allow these sort of things to be done. But 5e D&D has so much depth of options and information and character options, feats, etc. that can be used. They just lean into what we're trying to accomplish with this, which is making basically, again, it's creating team activity, like a team combat as opposed to individuals in combat. It becomes team combat without having the clunky group initiative swinginess of does all the enemies attack before my ship, or how do we thread our action economy into those of our enemies. Super fun, super fun. So when it publishes, definitely, I mean, you'll be able to read almost all of this as a preview. So once it publishes, check it out. And if you agree that it's cool, that you want to play with it, that you want to mess around with it, seriously consider making a purchase. It would be greatly appreciated, because we've invested an entire year on building this thing and testing it and making sure that it works the way that's intended to, and it's just a crackerjack system. Super freaking cool. Not bad. Not bad at all. Nah, fuck it. starting to get sketchy, which means I'm becoming mentally fatigued. Which means we'll need to stop here in a little bit. Pick it up again tomorrow. We're almost there though. This ship's easy. Fairy fire effect is basically a color highlight around a base frame. It's a galleon we've chosen, which is low-hanging fruit as far as architecture is concerned. I mean, it's looking pretty good. So I am thrilled. Overall, I've been very, very thrilled with this project. Just the art we've been able to produce with this is just faster and higher quality than I had anticipated. We'll need all of August to finish it up, but I have very high hopes. And there's just so many cool things we can do with this once it's published. There. Those are very spacey sounds we got going on here, very Spelljammery. Very Spelljammery, sir. Again, we have the light sail effect. Almost there. Stay on target. Trash. Ship. We can just do like a color fit, like a color haze behind it. That's easy enough. I want to go back to what we're working on here, so I can grab this color. Purple. That's weird. Better. belly is talking about so many things right now. My belly says, female, female. All right, we'll get to you. We'll have some breakfast, I promise. There. Radiant sail effect. Yeah, we're looking good. You know. That easy. We're such a cheaters. We'll have to mix it up, but that's essentially what we're doing here. Stay up. So I have a quick what the fuck? Where's that coming from? Just enough is enough. I mean, to be perfectly honest. All right, it's 7:45. We've made some good progress today, guys. I am proud of where we're at. This is going to clean up. We'll be done with this probably tonight. There's not much going on here, so we'll probably just finish this up tonight, and that will leave us with continuing with the ballistas on the other piece earlier. We should have that tomorrow, and we can start colorizing the galleon. That means that tomorrow's Friday. That probably means that we'll finish it over the weekend. Maybe we'll save that for Monday morning, so we get some pew action conversation about spellcasters and marshals taking shots at each other or something on the deck of the ship. And then we're going to start sketching out some more stuff. But we're almost done with the spellcasting section, and we're already done with we're done with the creatures menagerie. We'll be done here with the spellcasting section shortly. We'll start work on the hazards section. Actually, no, it's the equipment section we're going to do next, and then the hazards section, and then the combat section, and the exploration section. and then the random system generator. We got so much work to do. It's worth it though. It's worth it. I'm absolutely thrilled with the progress on this. It's going to be a kick-ass piece when it's done. So anyone that's lurking out there, thanks a lot for checking it out. Like and subscribe. We're here 6 days a week. Tonight in about 12 to in about 11 hours or so, we're going to be working on Eberron creature token art for the Crystals of Mabar adventure that we'll also be publishing on DMsGuild. And then Saturday morning, we'll be back here on Friday morning, but on Saturday morning, we'll continue our environmental painting for the book cover of the Reclamant by Joseph Vargas. So we got a lot going on. We got a lot done. I could obviously get stuff done a lot faster if I only worked on one project at a time, but it's just not how fate worked out this time. So we're working on both of these projects till we get them done. But I am absolutely thrilled with it. God bless you, Muse, for staying in my heart and helping me push through the project. I will see you guys hopefully soon enough. So later. Have a great day.